Okay, Wednesday, 18th of June, 2025. So Adrian's daily vlog, sharing smart stuff men should know. Relationship Wednesday. Love better. The cycle of blame. Be discerning to avoid it and or know when to leave. Now, as a principle, as a rule of thumb, when it comes to a disagreement or dispute, I tend to blame both parties. Myself and the other party. Because with human nature and human relations, it's always this he said, she said, they did, why didn't, how could, why, back and forth, wah. Humans, emotional, temperamental, aggressive, passive aggressive, you name it. So I instinctively say, well, I did something wrong, and so did she, so did they, so did he, fundamentally. Otherwise, it wouldn't have gone that way. Because then you could say, well, if I was discerning enough, I wouldn't have escalated. I would have held back at the risk of looking like I'd given up or at the risk of giving them the facade of victory. But it wouldn't have escalated and gotten worse. The nuclear option went nowhere near the nuclear option. I could have pressed it and really escalated the argument and expanded it, but I didn't. And just doing so avoided total war, let's say. As in, the cycle of blame just gets worse and worse and crazier. A dispute, trouble in paradise kind of thing. But the more we are discerning when it comes to human relations and people and psychology, the more we know about psychology and anthropology and people behavior and things like that, the wiser and easier and more nuancedly we can position ourselves so we avoid these problems in the future. We are discerning so we never have that problem in the future in general. So, for example, we could say, the best way to win a divorce case is never get married, as an idea. It's that. It's a 0 and 1% chance of risk. 1% chance versus 0. It's impossible to happen. And if we position ourselves in that scenario, this risk can never happen by definition. So the more discerning we are with people, women, relationships, you name it, we avoid that problem in the first place. We know what to say, when to say it, how to say it, what not to say. There was some interesting bit of psychology I was thinking about recently, and I thought I could say something, but it risks pulling the rug from underneath them, and they might get a little upset. Let them have their moment of glory. Even though I could say something, it's immaterial, but I could say something that's nothing for me, but for them it could mean a lot. A bit disappointed. And I thought, I'll keep it to myself and let them have that moment of glory. Again, I'm holding back, not escalating in this case, but mentioning something. Let them have their moment, so to speak. Interesting. And we can go further to say, well, this thing is happening. Know when to leave. Know when to leave. In a sense of, is this argument, the underlying principles behind it, the foundations behind it, is it deeper? Could it have been avoided? What's the fundamental cause for this cycle of blame, this argument, this war, so to speak? What happened? Know when to leave. There's a nice Kenny Rogers song that could embody this. The Gambler. Know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em. Know when to walk away, know when to run. Know when to walk away, know when to run. You're recognizing that this cycle of blame, this dispute, as it escalates, things can get worse and worse and worse. So you're circumventing the end result and saying, well, I'm just going to that now, which is ending the relationship, without the whole rigmarole and drama along the way. If it's going to happen anyway, because the cycle gets wilder and wilder and escalates, and eventually reaches a point, right, over, goodbye, circumvent it and get to that point already. Now that's basically the nuclear option, that is. By definition, it's that the war, the argument, the dispute gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and then boom, it's an arms race, but you're just getting to the point straight away. Know when to leave. And that kind of goes into the principle of go where you're treated best. Even, you could even say, go where you're celebrated. I did a video about this as well, being anthropologically sound. Go somewhere where you're anthropologically better calibrated. Meaning, go where people will praise or reward you as per your default behavior. That's very profound. That's something I came across very recently. But that, relocate, go somewhere different, be with someone else. Very powerful. It's the nuclear option, really. That's very powerful. But that's where the cycle of blame will lead to. Things just get wilder and wilder. Wow. It depends what you want really in the future. So you could say, but also everyone is equally to blame. X did X, or Y did Y, and Z did Z, etc. So where do you draw the line? Either have discernment not to get into that situation in the first place, or know when to leave. Know when to leave and go with something better. Have, achieve, create, build, pursue something better. Better. I did a video about this as well about a year and a half ago, where we're first world men. We always go up the value chain, always improve, never down, always up, up, up. And that was early April, late March, early April 2024. Always up the value chain, never down. Leave. Interesting. But otherwise, Adrian's Daily Vlog, sharing smart stuff men should know. Subscribe for more, and you will see me tomorrow.